What's going on, everybody? It's your man, Lucky. I'm back with another one. Y'all know how I do. Listen, fellas, this is something that's very important. You need to pay attention, okay? This kind of came across, and I was like, I really had to talk about it. So I just wanted to jump on here and do a quick video about this particular subject right here, okay? I don't have much time, so I'm gonna just get right into it. First and foremost, I'm doing everything I can do to build my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like the content that you're getting. Okay, I need you to be interactive with my channel. That's how I know that I'm putting out good information. That's how I know that you guys want to see, more videos and get these conversations that I'm putting out there. Okay, all right. So let's get into it, fellas. If you are in a committed relationship, okay, if you are married, okay, listen, there are 5 love languages that you must know about, okay? There are 5 love languages that you must know about, okay? Listen, I'm married, and I really didn't know anything about love languages, to be honest with you. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't know anything about it, and that could be why my situation is in its current situation, you know what I mean? The state that it's in right now. But listen, y'all know that I'm here to try to help prevent you guys from getting into the same situations that I find myself in, okay? That's what I'm here for. A lot of times we learn something after the fact. I say that all the time. We don't know something, we do something, and then at the end, when we're trying to figure out why did this happen, then we looking like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, that's the purpose of this channel. That's life lessons. That's, you learn things as you go. Unfortunately, when you learn that lesson, it's already after the fact. It's already too late. So I'm putting this information out here. Hopefully, some people get this information before they find themselves in similar situation like me, sitting back wondering, why did this happen? And it's like, oh, now I know why it happened. I want to get you in front of it before it happens. Okay. There are 5 love languages. Okay. And you need to know about these love languages. Okay. If you are currently in a long-term relationship, a committed relationship, marriage, whatever the case may be, you have to know about these languages. If for some reason it just seems like no matter what you do, your marriage is not working out, like no matter what, it's like you try, and you keep trying over and over and over again. It's just like, why is this? What's going on? Your relationship is just like, why is this thing not getting better? Because in a relationship, only one of 2 things is going to happen. It's only going to get better, or it's only going to get worse. Like that's just what it is. It's only going to get better, or it's only going to get worse. Okay. So the 5 love languages, we need to know about these love languages, fellas. Okay. And I'm just going to talk about it, ladies as well. Okay. But I really talk to the guys. Right. So listen, gentlemen, when it comes to the 5 love languages, right? It's very important that you know these love languages, and stick to the end of this video, because at the end, I'm going to drop some gems. Okay. I'm really going to drop some gems. So I apologize if it seems like I'm moving too fast, but I really need to get through this. Okay. All right. So first, when it comes to love languages, right? The first love language is, and this is not in any particular order of importance or anything like that. I'm just putting them out there. Okay. Words of affirmation. Gentlemen, words of affirmation. You need to know this. Okay. A lot of times, gentlemen, ladies, they just like to hear certain things. Your woman wants to hear certain things from you. Okay. It may seem trivial. It may seem like, oh man, that's nothing. You know what I mean? But you got to really sit and take a look at yourself and see, words of affirmation. Am I doing these things? So words of affirmation is something simple like, baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love you, baby. You look nice today. Baby, you look good. You know what I'm saying? Just, baby, I'm so glad that, you're in my life. Things of that nature. Those are words of affirmation. Believe it or not. I mean, you should already know that women are emotional. They are just emotional creatures. And words of affirmation are one of the things that you can do to ensure to her how you feel. Guys, most of us are, when it comes to emotions, like we're just kind of emotionally unavailable, or just emotion. We just hold back. You understand what I'm saying? And women don't like that. Women, they just really, they don't like that. I think over time, like they kind of just get used to it, but they really don't like that. So guys, you gotta be conscious, man. You gotta pay attention. Words of affirmation. You have to tell your lady how you feel. That's it. Let her know you appreciate her. How many times your wife said, oh, I don't feel like you appreciate me? And you're like, what are you talking about? Right? But if you don't say it, if you don't say it, then she really doesn't know. It doesn't matter that you're doing the things that you need to do. That's not enough. I'm just saying that's not enough. They don't know. They don't see that I'm doing these things because I appreciate who you are. You just have to say it. I mean, something simple as thank you. It goes a long way for a woman. It does. It just goes a long way. Okay. So words of affirmation, guys, you got to let your woman know that, hey, baby, you are beautiful. Baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that you're in my life. Now, listen, there's a lot of people that are out there that's going to say, man, you know, you don't validate a woman and this, that, and the third. And I get that. I get that. But if you are married, you know what I'm saying? You are in a different category. In my opinion, you're in a different category. So, you know, all of that stuff, that's not for, in my opinion, it's not really for a married man that's just my opinion. It's not. You got to take yourself out of that and bring yourself into this, which is marriage. If you are married, you're in a long-term committed relationship and you're trying to go somewhere with that, all of that non-validation, in my opinion now, you don't do it. You save that for when you're in a different class, in a different, different zone. Save that for that, okay? Words of affirmation is very important. Women want to hear how you feel about them. So you have to tell them. It just is what it is, okay? The next love language is quality time. Quality time. Listen, guys, I know you go to work, you work all day, come home from work, you're tired, just want to, sit, plop on a lazy boy, have a beer, maybe watch TV or whatever the case it is, whatever the case may be. You come home and you're just tired. You know what I mean? On the weekends, maybe you're hanging out with the fellas, you're hanging out with family, this, that, and the third and all that, man. But some women need quality time, okay? So that's a love language right there, quality time. So be mindful of that. Take the time out, man. Just sit back and watch a movie like you used to do when you were dating. You know what I mean? Quality time. Date night. That's considered quality time. You know what I mean? Just sit on the couch and just have a conversation. Baby, how was your day? What'd you do today? What happened? What you got new going on? Just a conversation. Something as simple as that. That's quality time. You understand what I'm saying? So that's one of the 2 love languages. Quality time. You got to spend quality time. You have to. If you're not around, who's she going to take up her extra time with? I'm just saying. I'm not saying that, oh, you have the type of woman I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that is a love language, and that might be the woman that you are with, her love language. And so you just have to know these things, okay? You have to know these things, okay? Quality time. Spend quality time with her, okay? Especially if that's one of her love languages, it's important, okay? Man, another thing, man, and y'all, gifts, man, receiving gifts. That's another love language. Now, man, listen, some women just love receiving gifts, man. They just like, when you buy them things. Now, if that is your wife or your significant other, if that is her love language, then you have to learn how to speak that language, period, point blank. Now, it's not that you got to go out and buy expensive gifts and big extravagant gifts and all of that, spending all kind of money, you going broke trying to buy gifts. Nah, because really the thing about a gift is it's the thought that counts. It's the thought that counts. So me, I'm going to tell you straight up, man, I've always been the type, man, look, I get you a little gift card, man, and just go on down to your favorite store and buy what you want, right? So I'm thinking, hey, here go a little $100 gift card, $200 gift card or something like that. Like, geez, But nah, sometimes it's all about the effort. It's about the effort and the thought that counts. Now, you go out and take the time and buy her something. You know what I mean? That's how she knows that you pay attention to her. Oh, he bought me this shirt. It's my favorite color. You know what I'm saying? You buy her a shirt that's her favorite color. She knows that you pay attention because you bought her the shirt that's her favorite color. You understand what I'm saying? If she hates purple and or she does not like purple and you go out and buy a purple shirt, it's like, man, this guy don't even pay attention. I done told him many times, I do not like purple. You bought a purple shirt. So, the thing behind giving gifts, man, is about the effort. You know what I'm saying? It's really about the effort, okay? The cost, like I said, the cost of the gift, it does not matter. You know what I'm saying? The cost of the gift don't matter. It's the thought that counts. You know what I'm saying? Another love language, okay? Acts of service. Acts of service. And I'm gonna get deep. I'm gonna get deep a little bit later on about acts of service because I think that this particular love language is the one that kind of gets everything all messed up. It's just my opinion. I'm speaking off of my experience, right? Okay, so acts of service. That's just like simply doing things. Coming home after a hard day's work and helping clean up around the house. Washing dishes. You know what I'm saying? Taking the garbage out, washing the car, changing the oil. You know what I mean? Actually physically doing something, okay? That is a love language. And some women, that's just their love language. You understand what I'm saying? So guys, if you're not really doing that like you should, you need to take a look into that. I can tell you from my experience, my biggest thing is I've always been kind of more on the traditional side, and I've just always expected the house to be clean. You know what I mean? And that probably was maybe not, that probably wasn't fair. You know what I mean? Because just in my situation, my wife worked. She worked. She put in work. Like that's what she did. She put in work. At her job, she worked, or she just worked. You know what I mean? And I kind of was in a position where I could have helped out. You understand what I'm saying? I could have helped out, but not to get off the subject, acts of service. What are you doing? You're doing something, right? Like I said, keeping the car clean, washing the car, doing projects around the house. Oh, the house needs something. This need painting, or, whatever like that. Acts of service is a love language. Okay. So just remember that acts of service is a love language, guys. Okay. And again, I'm going to come back to that. Okay. And another love language is physical touch. Okay. Now, physical touch, that doesn't necessarily mean, getting, you know what I mean? It's not necessarily that. It's something as simple as holding hands, giving a hug, giving her a kiss, grabbing her, holding her, giving her a nice tight hug, kiss on the forehead, kiss on the neck, little pat down there every now and then. Hey, baby, pat, you know what I mean? So, man, the 5 love languages, man. Words of affirmation, acts of service. I'm trying to go back in order. Quality time, receiving gifts, and physical touch. Those are what are known as the 5 love languages. Okay. So the 5 love languages, fellas, if you're not aware of what these 5 love languages are, get into it. Okay. Get into it. The most important thing is for you to learn. Now, see this, I'm getting ready to kind of drop a gem a little bit, but I'm gonna come back to the acts of service. Okay. You have to not only know your spouse's, your partner's love language, you also have to know your love language. Okay? Not only do you have to know your spouse's love language, but you also have to know your love language. Now, I'm going to tell you where it gets complicated. Okay? Because see, if you don't know each other's, if you don't know the love languages, right? If you don't know your spouse's love language and your spouse doesn't know your love language, or your girlfriend, if you're in a committed relationship, or whatever the case may be, your partner, I'll put it like that. If you don't know their love language and they don't know your love language, it's like 2 people speaking 2 different languages. There's no communication. Like you're communicating, but there's no comprehension. Nobody knows like what's going on. If you're, let's say, if your relationship for whatever reason it just doesn't seem like it's working out. Like you're doing everything you can do. You need to look and see. You need to find out what the love languages are, because you're speaking 2 different languages, right? And now you can think that your wife just wants gifts, right? And you're just buying her this every weekend. You come home every time you get paid. Oh, baby, I bought you this, and that. And no, it really doesn't matter what you buy. You're buying stuff every weekend, this and that, and things are still not getting better. You're sitting there like, man, yo, she's so unappreciative. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing this, I'm buying this, and I bought her a gift, and I bought her this, and I bought her that. But if that's not her love language, it does not matter. You understand what I'm saying? It does not matter. You're spinning your wheels for no reason. That's not going to make her happy, because you're not speaking her language. Okay. So that's why it's important that you find out what your partner's love language is, so that you can speak it. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you're not speaking her love language, she's just looking at it as, he doesn't love me. You understand what I'm saying? When you be like, baby, I love you. What are you talking about? Nah, you don't love me. It's because you're not speaking her love language. You over here speaking English and she speaking Chinese. Y'all trying to, it's two different, it's not adding up. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to, you have to know the love languages, but more importantly than knowing the love languages, once you know the love languages, you have to learn what your partner's love language is. And then you have to speak it. You understand what I'm saying? So if you don't know, if you haven't had this conversation or whatever, you don't know what your partner's love language is, man, you have to learn it. You have to find out what that love language is, okay? It's very important. Now, as important as it is to know your partner's love language, you have to also know your love language, right? Because your wife may be doing things for you and you just like, matter of fact, she may be working hard to do things for you because she's speaking to you. You know what I'm saying? And she's doing things for you that's not your love language. And so you don't even recognize the things that she's doing for you because it doesn't matter. You understand what I'm saying? So she's doing all she can for you. She's doing this and she's doing this and she's doing that, but you don't even recognize it. So now, your partner is like, oh, you don't appreciate me. What are you talking about? I don't appreciate you. And that's because everything that she's been doing, you don't even recognize it. Because it's just not the language that you speak. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to know these love languages. Okay? If you're putting in 100%, but that 100% that you're putting in is in a language that she does not speak, you simply spinning your wheels. You spinning your wheels and you're wasting your time. You have to find out the language that she speaks and then speak it to her. And if there are any ladies watching, it's the same way, vice versa. Turn it around. You could be doing ABC, 1, 2, 3, jumping, flipping through hoops, whatever, and he's just not receptive of it. And you're looking at him like he's not appreciative. You know what I'm saying? He don't appreciate me and this, that, and it's not that he doesn't appreciate you. It's just you're speaking to him in a language that he doesn't comprehend. You know what I mean? It just not, just not everything really matters or not everything really makes a difference if that makes sense. You know what I mean? If it's not in the language that you understand, then, it's just, it just is what it is. But now I have a gym, right? No. Well, before I get into that, right? Stay tuned. Before I get into that, one of the things that I want to talk about is acts of service, right? So listen, acts of service, I really think, and this is just my opinion, I'm just throwing this out there. This is from my experience. Acts of service, in my opinion, is one of the, love languages that really gets, in my opinion, kind of like misconstrued, I guess. I guess that's the best way that I can put it, right? So look, typically, so I'll just talk about my situation, right? In my situation, in my marriage, there were just certain things that I expected my wife to do. And I think in turn, they were just some things that she just expected me to do, period, point blank, right? So now where that lies, where the problem in that lies is, when you get married, right? And like I said, sometimes it's just women just expect a man to do certain things and men just expect a woman to do certain things, right? Now, those things can fall into the category of acts of service, right? So if my love language that I like to show, right, is acts of service, right? I feel like, I'm going to take care of this. I'm going to take care of that and this, that. That's just what I'm doing as your husband, right? That's my way of showing her love. That's the love language that I speak. And so those are the things that I do. But now in her mind, it's just like, those are the things that I expect you to do anyway. Then you don't really get the full credit for doing those things because it's not like you're really speaking in a love language. It's just like you're doing what's expected. You understand what I'm saying? So ladies, if you're watching this, or gentlemen, that's why a lot of times men really feel just so really unappreciated. You know what I mean? Because their acts of service go kind of like unnoticed. You understand what I'm saying? They kind of go unnoticed or just not really addressed or whatever, because that is already the expectation. But really, that's his way of showing how he loves you. That's his love language. And so it gets misconstrued. Now, men just go around feeling unappreciated because, yo, I'm showing my love by doing this, that, and the third. But now the woman, she's not really looking at it as, man, he's doing this because, he loves me. He's doing that because that's what he's supposed to do as a man. That's just what he's supposed to do. So men go just really feel unappreciated. You understand what I'm saying? So, man, that acts of service, man, can kind of, you know what I mean? It can kind of it gets that right there, man. It can kind of mess things up. You know what I mean? Because I think a lot when it comes to acts of service, you know what I mean? It gets a lot of men kind of messed up in a sense that is how they show love. You understand what I'm saying? That is how they show love, by doing those things. But a woman doesn't really accept it or acknowledge it as, this is how he shows me that he loves me, because she simply feels that that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? That's you're doing what you're supposed to do. So, you're not doing anything. You're not jumping through any hoops. You're not doing that. That's just what you're supposed to do. So that act of service thing, guys, man, it can kind of get us, just, that's kind of touchy right there, right? It's kind of touchy. But now, another thing when it comes to the 5 love languages is the love language that you speak may not be the love language that you comprehend. So your love language that you speak could be acts of service, but the love language that you comprehend might be physical touch. You understand what I'm saying? So now on the flip side of that, when it comes to your wife, when it comes to your partner, the love language that she speaks might be giving gifts, but the love language that she comprehends might be words of affirmation. You understand what I'm saying? So it gets complicated, because when it comes to the love language, there's going to be a love language that you speak, and then there's going to be a love language that you comprehend, and they may not be the same. You understand what I'm saying? Your love language may not be her love language. You know what I'm saying? So if you love giving gifts, she may not love receiving gifts. And now you looking at it like, man, I'm loving her, I'm doing all this, and that just may not be her love language. And if you love giving gifts, guess what? You may not love receiving gifts, right? So when it comes to love language, I'm just trying to break it down. There's a love language. There's going to be a language. In that language, there's going to be the love language that you speak, and there's going to be the love language that you comprehend. So what you speak may not necessarily be what you comprehend. So it just gets complicated. Like, you know what I'm saying? But love language, man, y'all have to know this. Guys, man, y'all tough guys out here. Y'all, are emotionally unavailable and all that. And I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? You have to speak that language, man. If you love your wife, you got to tell her all day, every day. You got to let her know, man. Forget about that not validating and all that. When you married, it's different. That's all I'm saying. There's a time and a place for everything. Acts of service, man. That's where it kind of, for us, man, it gets twisted, because men feel like, man, I'll contribute financially. I pay the bills and I this, that, and the third. That's what they expect you to do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they expect you to do. They're not looking at that as a love language. You understand what I'm saying? So if that is your love language and that's pretty much how you show love and that's all you're doing, then in her eyes, you're really not doing much. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. They don't take that as a love language. So guys, you got to be careful, man. If that is your love language, man, just be careful. Just be careful with that, because as a man, you're going to feel like just unappreciated. Like what you do is not appreciated. And it's not that it's not appreciated. It's just that they're not looking at that as a love language. They're looking at that as what you're supposed to do, period. You know what I mean? So just be careful with that, fellas. But listen, man. Yeah, man. I would say, well, I don't know. I don't know all women. I can't say that. But again, man, you find out what that love language is and you have to speak it, period. Period, point blank. Find out what that love language is and you have to speak it every day. Now, if the love language is like giving gifts or something like that, I'm not saying you got to go out and buy gifts every day or something like that, man. But You know, if you know that your significant other, your wife, your partner, whatever, loves receiving gifts, man, do something, man. You buy a card. You know what I'm saying? Flowers, a little gift. It doesn't have to be anything. Just, babe, I was thinking about you. I bought you a pack of M&Ms, peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever it is. If you know that it's something that she likes, man, just do it, man. You know, even when you don't want to do it, that's when it's most important. Listen, when everything is good, it's easy to do the right thing. It's easy to tell your wife you love her after y'all just finish or y'all just getting ready to get started. But nah, after y'all just had an argument and fussing and fighting about something, do you have it in you to walk over to her and grab her and pull her close to you and whisper in her ear that you love her? Because that's when it really counts. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to be mad about something. Oh, I'm mad. I go to this side of the house, she go to the other side of the house, and that's it. I don't speak to you for the rest of the day or whatever the case may be. But nah, do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes to show that love language when you just don't have that love and feeling? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about, man. Now listen, I know I told you I was going to drop a gem. That's what I'm going to do right now. If you do not know your love language, how do you find your love language? How do you find out what your love language is, right? So one of the first things you got to do is kind of look back at your childhood. Look back at your childhood. You know what I mean? Look at how you grew up. What did your parents do for you to show that they loved you? What did they do? Did they buy you a gift? You know what I'm saying? Did they go and do something for you? Did they verbally tell you that they love you? You know what I'm saying? Did they physically give you a hug whenever you did the right thing? Did they physically come over and give you a hug, squeeze you tight? Oh man, you did that. You know, you have to examine your childhood to, you know, if you don't know what your love language is, you have to examine your childhood. Okay, that'll give you a clue as to, man, how, you know what I'm saying? How is love expressed to me? Now, how do you express love? How do you look at all your relationships? Look at all your friendships, your family. How do you express love? Do you verbally pick up the phone and call somebody? Hey, what's going on? I just want to let you know I love you. I miss you. You know, whatever the case is. Are you the type that send Christmas cards or happy birthday or, you know, how do you express love? That will help you find out, you know, what your love language is. Okay. And another thing you got to look at, man, really you got to look at your past, man. How have you been hurt in the past? You really have to look at how have you been hurt in the past, because however you may have been hurt in the past can determine what your love language is, right? So if you've been hurt, it's obvious because you didn't get what you expected. So what is it that you didn't get that you expected, right? So that can help you find what your love language is. You expected something from somebody and then you didn't get it, right? So what is it that you expected? What is it that you expected that you didn't get? And that could be a clue as to what your love language is. You didn't get the love that you expected. So what was it that you didn't get? All right. Those are my 3 gems right there. Those are my 3 gems that I just kind of wanted to put out there. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna tell you, man, we get caught up in that acts of service, man. We out here, we doing this and doing that for your lady. And it just goes, man, just like you ain't doing anything. But it's not her fault. It's just that as her partner, as her spouse, her husband, whatever, it's just that that's what she expects you to do. You know what I mean? When you talk about, well, you know, I'll pay the bills around here. I do this, man. I'm out here cutting grass in 100-degree weather. No, you know, That's what they expect you to do, man. So you're really not going to get credit for it. You're not going to get credit for it, man. So it just is how it is, man. And that's how I felt, man. I just always felt like whenever something, you know, it's, man, I'm doing this, man, I'm doing that, man. Nothing I do is good enough, man. It was just probably because those acts of service that I was doing that I felt is that's how I'm showing you my love. You know what I'm saying? By doing these things. They don't, a lot of women are not going to look at that. And it's not their fault. I'm not faulting women. If you're watching this, I'm not saying that it's your fault. Like, yo, y'all unappreciative. Your man is doing this, that. I'm not saying that. It's just, that's just what is expected. You know what I mean? So, but listen, man, I don't want to get off track, man. 5 love languages. Y'all need to know these love languages, man. And you have to know the love language that you speak. You have to know the love language that you comprehend. And then when it comes to your partner, your spouse, your wife, whatever, you have to know the love language that she speaks. And you also have to know the love language that she comprehends. So it's almost like 4 elements to it. You know what I mean? And you have to know all 4. And I'm going to tell you something that I think that is something that can be learned. That's something that you can work on. So initially, if y'all love languages, y'all speaking different languages and all of that, you can work on that. If you want to work on it, you have to work on it. Okay. But you have to speak those languages, period, point blank. But that's something that could be worked on. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. That's something that can be worked on. Okay. But yeah, I hope this video didn't get too long. I don't know how long I've been, going on with this, but that's very important in a relationship. If you want a long lasting relationship, I promise you, you need to learn these love languages and you need to speak them every day. All right, y'all, please, again, man, if you like the content, and please, y'all, listen, I don't edit. So when I make a mistake, I just close my eyes, take a deep breath, and I just keep going. I haven't got to that stage yet where, I can edit and do all that kind of stuff. But work with me. I'm going to get there, okay? But you got to help me out. Please, I would appreciate it. Please like, comment, and subscribe to this content, and I'm going to keep putting some good stuff out there, all right? Listen, guys, it's time for me to go. Y'all be good. I'm out.